My name is Judith Crawford. As I look out at the crowd before me today, I can see everyone watching me with curiosity, but no one truly knows what it's like to be in my shoes. No one truly understands what it feels like to build a life with someone, to trust them completely, and then watch that trust shatter into pieces. I was never someone who trusted easily. Since childhood, life had taught me that everything comes with a price. My father's bankruptcy, my mother's early death, and then being raised by my grandmother, all of it left deep marks on me. My grandmother used to always tell me, Judith, people might love you not for who you are, but for what you have. Be careful who you open your heart to. But I was young. My heart was naive, fragile, and it was that fragility that led me to Bradley. I met him right after losing my grandmother. It was one of the hardest periods of my life. I was alone, empty inside. I held on to my work, but returning home only met me with silence. That was when Bradley entered my life. He was charismatic, reassuring. When he looked into my eyes, he made me feel valued. He would say, I feel like a better man when I'm with you. And I wanted to believe him. No one had ever made me feel that way in years. Sometimes when people hear what they want to hear, they fail to see the signs in front of them. I didn't see them. Bradley's attention, his little surprises, his sweet words, they all touched my weaknesses. While dealing with my grandmother's estate after her passing, I thought he was there to support me. But in reality, he was only calculating. The first years of our marriage were genuinely happy. We'd have breakfast together in the mornings, long conversations over wine in the evenings. I would think, I've found the man of my life. But over the years, I began to notice small things. The way his eyes lit up when talking about money, constantly boasting about Judith's company among friends, always wanting the most expensive, most extravagant options on vacations. I ignored these signs. Maybe I didn't want to see them because acknowledging them would mean realizing that the foundation of my marriage was false. But the breaking point came when I stumbled upon a message on his phone. He was texting a friend. Just wait a little longer. After the deal, everything we want will be within reach. I felt as if my heart had been ripped out. My hands shook, my vision blurred. I sat on the edge of the bed, feeling my world collapse. The truth hidden in that message was unmistakable. Bradley didn't love me. He loved my inheritance, my money, my power. That's when I realized this wasn't love. It was a well-played theater, and I had been the most naive audience. I couldn't sleep for nights. I asked myself, Judith, how could you have been so blind? How did you forget your grandmother's warning? How did you fall right into what she cautioned against? The cruelest part of betrayal is that it comes from someone you trust most. Not a stranger, but the person you sleep next to, the one you've shared your most vulnerable moments with. Once that trust is broken, it leaves an emptiness that cannot be filled. But I didn't surrender to that emptiness. Life had always hurt me, but it also taught me to stand strong. That's why I made my decision. I would turn Bradley's own game against him. And now here I am, in this courtroom in Nashville. From the outside, it may look like just a divorce case. But for me, this is a story of revenge, a story of justice. I look into Bradley's eyes. Across the room in his expensive suit, he still tries to appear confident. But I know that in a moment, he will lose everything. Because I hold a weapon he never even knew existed. The prenuptial agreement my grandmother made me secure. Today I will return to Bradley the betrayal he inflicted on me over all these years in a single blow. Today, everyone will see. There's a price to be paid for games played in the name of love, for marriages built on selfish motives. And the one who will pay that price is Bradley. The air in the courtroom is heavy. Everyone inside knows this is not an ordinary divorce. Reporters, curious onlookers, even strangers are here to witness Judith's story. But the real battle begins in the middle of the room, between Judith and Bradley's eyes. Sitting next to her attorney, I feel two emotions swirling inside me, anger and a startling calm. Because the plan I've been preparing for years is about to corner Bradley. The judge opens the case, reviewing the files. Bradley's attorney speaks first, his voice full of confidence, sharp with every word. Your Honor, my client, Bradley Crawford, has been wrongfully abandoned by his spouse. He has devoted years to this marriage, made sacrifices, and attempted to accommodate Judith's luxurious lifestyle. All we ask today is a fair return for those sacrifices. His words hang in the air. Bradley narrows his eyes at me, a false innocence plastered across his face, as if he hadn't played these games, as if he had loved me genuinely and was the one wronged. I feel my anger boil inside me, but I show none of it. I know that hiding my fury will unnerve Bradley even more. Then my attorney rises, calm but sharp. Your Honor, the other party speaks of sacrifices, but we are here to reveal the truth behind this marriage. Miss Judith Crawford offered her spouse every possible opportunity, her trust, her love. Yet the evidence we have demonstrates that this relationship was planned from the start as part of a scheme. Whispers ripple through the courtroom. People lean in, curious. Reporters scribble notes frantically. Bradley's confidence falters. Then he forces a smile. The judge strikes for silence. I feel my heart racing. Soon the truth will shatter not only Bradley but his entire scheme. Bradley asked to speak, his voice trembling with feigned emotion. Judith, we've been together all these years. I did everything for you. I can't believe you're acting like this. As if I'm the enemy. I keep my eyes fixed on him, my voice calm and deliberate. Bradley, you chose to be my enemy. I loved you as you were, but you only loved me for what I had. And that is why today, everyone will see your true face. A cold hush falls over the room. Bradley looks away for the first time, realizing that the fragile Judith he once deceived is gone. In her place stands a woman forged from betrayal and ready for vengeance. During a brief recess, I retrieved the prenuptial agreement my grandmother and I had prepared years ago. The rustle of paper echoes in the silent courtroom. My attorney rises, extending the documents toward the judge. Your Honor, Ms. Judith Crawford holds an official prenuptial agreement prepared long before this marriage. It clearly states that all assets acquired during the marriage remain separate. Mr. Bradley Crawford knowingly signed this agreement. Therefore, any claims he now makes have no legal basis. Murmurs sweep through the room. Flashbulbs pop. The judge studies the documents carefully, frowning at Bradley. His face turns pale, lips pressed together, a bead of sweat on his forehead. For a fleeting moment, his confidence falters. Bradley jumps to his feet, voice cracking. This is absurd. They're playing a trick on me. The judge's gavel strikes sharply. Mr. Crawford, calm down. This is a legally binding document. Denying it serves no purpose. Bradley's hands shake. His cheeks flush. I did everything for Judith. I lived in her shadow. I deserve something. I stand silently, a faint smile touching my lips. This is not triumph, but justice. I see the cracks in his voice, the fear in his eyes, and I think, this is what it feels like to be crushed by truth. Bradley continues, desperate. Judith, you're using me. You kept me by your side all these years, and now you discard me. I won't allow this. His voice echoes, raw and unrestrained. My attorney tries to restrain him, but it's futile. The judge warns again. Enough, Mr. Crawford. This is a courtroom, not a theater. Bradley glares at me. Without me, you're nothing. You're just a woman hiding behind money. Who were you without me? And at that moment, the room freezes. Everyone holds their breath. I rise slowly, every eye on me. My voice is calm, steady and deep. Bradley, I was a person before I met you. A woman who stood on her own, who worked, loved and fought. You, however, were nothing without me. Who are you without my light? Today, everyone sees it. I stand tall on my own strength. You have climbed upon me, and now you fall. Bradley collapses into his chair, head in his hands. The proud man is reduced to shame. His downfall is not losing wealth, but seeing that I no longer value him in any way. The judge closes the case. This court rules that Bradley Crawford's claims on marital assets are invalid. The prenuptial agreement stands. All property and inheritance belong to Judith Crawford. The gavel strikes, shattering Bradley's last hope. I take a deep breath. The weight of years of anger and betrayal begins to lift, replaced with justice and quiet victory. Bradley looks down, stripped of pride, left with nothing but shame. Everyone knows in that moment, this was not just a divorce, but a reckoning. And the victor of that reckoning is Judith Crawford. When I leave the courtroom, my body feels lighter, yet my mind is alive with the weight of all I've endured. Bradley's shattered figure lingers in my vision, his reckless anger, his helplessness, his destroyed confidence. I realize that what he tried to take from me for years was never my freedom. It was his own life he was losing. Outside, the wind brushes softly, and the distant city hums, horns, footsteps, the ongoing rhythm of life. But inside me, time moves differently. All the anger I nurtured over the years, all the wounds of betrayal, now merge with justice to create a quiet strength. Bradley's world lies in ruins. Mine is rebuilt. Everything he tried to control is now secured by my deliberate actions. And that awareness brings both relief and a sweet, quiet triumph. I pick up a photo of my grandmother. Her gaze seems to whisper across the years, "Never give your heart away for gain." Her words echo still. She left me not just an inheritance, but the power to wield it against someone like Bradley, to rise above, to claim real revenge. Not a sudden victory, but one built over years of careful planning, patience, and strategy. Bradley's name hits the newspapers for days. Others talk about him, but I walk silently along my path. His downfall makes my victory all the more meaningful. The astonishment and contempt in people's eyes remind me of past pains, but also strengthen me. The suffering he caused me is now a memory, a lesson. And I no longer dwell on the past. It serves only as a compass for the present. Returning home, silence blankets the chaos. It is not fear or anger, but the quiet of peace and a strengthened soul. I gaze from my window, watching the city move on. No one will notice Bradley's fall or my rebirth. Perhaps that is the greatest gift of freedom. Only I know the weight and value of my own life. The loneliness and fragility that had grown within me over the years now transform into wisdom and confidence. A woman tempered by love and betrayal, discovering her own strength. Bradley's loss is not merely material. He has exposed his true self, while I have gained not wealth or property, but the power to protect my worth and dignity. That evening, as the sun sets, I stand on the balcony with a cup of coffee. The wind tugs at my hair, and the horizon glows with shades of crimson and purple. I take a deep breath, closing my eyes, feeling a lightness, a freedom I haven't known in years. The pain of the past no longer weighs on me. Betrayal has transformed into quiet peace and the satisfying weight of victory. I realize that revenge is not merely destroying someone else. It is reclaiming your own strength, freedom, and honor. Bradley is gone, but I am fully myself, carrying years of burdens and triumph. Quietly, I whisper, I am free now. No one can break me. And indeed, I am free. All the lies, betrayals, and pains have shaped me into a stronger, more aware woman. My grandmother's legacy and the values she left behind are not just money. They are a guide to life and strength. The quiet of this victory is deeper and more profound than any applause or camera could capture. The shadows of the past no longer hang over me. The path ahead is drawn by my own choices, my own strength. Every step I take resonates with the silent echo of freedom, revenge, and true power through the city streets.